Matter movement, or for short, BLM, is something that has been taking the world by storm since 2013. It all started with a tweet made by Alicia Garza regarding the shooting of Trayvon Martin, whose killer, George Zimmerman, was freed of charge. The tweet read, "Black people, I love you, I love us, our lives matter." This brought together 3 African-American women by the names of Alicia Garza, Patrice Cullors, and Opal Tometi, who were the founders of the building project called #Black Lives Matter. As it was developing, these women used #Black Lives Matter as a platform for organizing. It has grown from just these 3 women to a global constitution that is dealing with racial injustice in not only America, but all over the world. Racial injustice is a global issue dating back hundreds of years ago. In the wise words of Martin Luther King, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." Back when King said this, he was part of the civil rights movement, fighting for both his and his fellow African Americans' rights. Sadly, even to this day, this quote still applies, as there is still injustice going on. Police brutality, for one, is a huge problem. This injustice calls for justice from everyone else, as the police force is America's protection. They are supposed to provide a sense of security, but instead, they spike fear in the hearts of many as they continuously do unspeakable acts to the African American community without receiving much backlash. This leads us to the question, are there ways to get everyday citizens involved in the Black Lives Matter movement and effect change? As police continue to take advantage of the power they have, the government continues to not enact laws that could make a difference in this behavior. However, that doesn't mean that they haven't enacted any laws at all. As shown in this screenshot taken from the Campaign Zero website, at least 107 laws have been enacted in the past 3 years to address police violence. Yet with these laws, men like George Zimmerman were still able to get away without any consequence. Because the government is such a prominent stakeholder, that led BLM to start Campaign Zero, a group that launched in 2015 that will hopefully make an impact not only on today's world, but the world of the future generations. By fighting for the government to take action by providing policies on all levels, this should reduce police brutality rates and hopefully decrease the level of racial tension found all across America. Of course, adding laws will not ensure that people will not continue to commit these racist acts. It makes people hesitate before doing something because there will be punishments for their actions. As shown in the picture, although there are more whites being killed than blacks, if you look at the US population, there are more whites than blacks. So objectively, there are more blacks being killed than whites, and especially more if you look at while they're not attacking. This leads us to the youth, as they are our only hope for a better future. By getting students
Mr. Faust, if you're in the building, you have someone waiting for you in the front office. Mr. Faust.
More people getting involved in the movement and exacting change. It's better to start people in the movement early so they are able to learn more about it and are therefore much more helpful. However, this doesn't guarantee that students will actually wish to participate. Not only that, but while their protests may be peaceful, when many people are in a crowded area, things can escalate quickly and may result in the deaths of these innocent children, further discouraging them to act. The movement has started on social media and will continue to take place on social media. It has the widest reach of the population with over 931 million unique visits on Google alone, as told by Edward Kessler, a principal of the Cambridge Theological Federation, and allows people from all over the world to be connected in a way that was never possible before. It is also a safer option than participating in protests. Children are on the internet constantly nowadays, and it wouldn't be very difficult for them to spread the message. Social media gets people talking about the topic and will hopefully garner a larger audience that will help spread the message and get things done. However, not everyone uses social media, but there are millions who do, and that is better than nothing. There is no guarantee that people will use their social media to get the message across, and there's always the fact that many people do not take things said over the internet very seriously. But there are always people wishing to help, and every voice counts. Together, they can make one powerful enough to bring change to not only America, but the world. Citizens are the cause of this problem, and hopefully they can be the end of it too.
We've got a couple questions for you. How did your research question evolve as you moved through the research process, and did your research go in a different direction than you had originally planned?
To be honest, I originally planned it to just be the Black Lives Matter movement and not effect change. But I feel like since it's been going on so long, that I feel like there are ways to affect change. I wasn't going to include social media, but since it started there, I was like, maybe I should put it in just because it's such a core element to it.
Okay, and then your other question is, if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct related to the issue?
I would probably do more things about social and cultural. I mean, I did do government just because it's more compact and there are facts to be used. The social and cultural I also would have put in just because it is dealing with the culture and it's a lot of social, like social media, of course. But since I didn't have a lot of time and it's such a big topic, I wasn't able to fit everything